My brother, Liam, passed away 3 years ago. It was a car accident, sudden, brutal, and it left a hole in my life that I knew would never truly heal. We were inseparable. He was my best friend, my confidant, my other half. After the funeral, I couldn't bring myself to get rid of his things. His room remained untouched, a dusty museum of a life cut short, and his phone. I couldn't part with it. I kept it in a drawer, along with his other personal effects. The battery had died long ago, and I never thought to charge it. It was just a cold, dark piece of glass and metal, a relic. Life moved on, as it does. I went back to work, saw friends, and tried to piece myself back together. The raw grief softened into a dull, constant ache. Some days were better than others. On the bad days, I'd find myself staring at the drawer where I kept his phone, my hand hovering over the handle before pulling away. It was too painful. Then, one Tuesday night, it happened. My phone rang vibrating on the nightstand. I glanced at the screen, my heart stopping dead in my chest. The caller ID read, "Liam." I froze, my mind struggling to process what I was seeing. It had to be a mistake, a glitch, a cruel prank. My hand trembled as I answered, pressing the phone to my ear with a sense of dread. "Hello," I whispered, my voice barely audible. Silence. Not the empty silence of a dropped coal, but a heavy, charged silence. It felt like someone was there, listening. I could hear a faint static, like the sound of an old radio between stations. "Liam?" I asked again, a desperate hope blooming in my chest, a hope I immediately tried to crush. "Is someone there? This isn't funny." The line went dead. I stared at my phone, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. I checked my call history. There it was, an incoming call from Liam's number. I felt a chill snake down my spine. It was impossible, absolutely impossible. I tried calling the number back, but it went straight to a disconnected line message, just as it had for the past 3 years. I told myself it was a technical error, a network spoof, anything but what it seemed to be. But the explanation felt hollow. I tried to sleep, but every time I closed my eyes, I saw his name glowing on my screen. The next morning, I chalked it up to stress and grief, playing tricks on my mind. I went to work trying to bury myself in spreadsheets and reports, but the memory of the call lingered at the edge of my thoughts. That evening, it happened again. Same time, just after 10, my phone buzzed, and Liam's name flashed on the screen. This time, I didn't hesitate. I snatched it up. "Who is this?" I demanded, my voice stronger than the night before. Again, that heavy, static silence. But time I heard something else. A whisper, faint and distorted, lost in the crackle. It sounded like a single word, stretched and warped. It sounded like my name. "Anna!" "Liam," I cried out, tears welling in my eyes. "Liam, is that you? Please, say something." But the line disconnected. I was left sobbing, clutching the phone, a storm of confusion and grief, and a terrifying sliver of hope raging inside me. Was I losing my mind? The calls continued every night, always at the same time. Always just static and that one faint, distorted whisper of my name. I became obsessed. I stopped going out. I barely ate. I just waited for 10 o'clock, for that call. I told my best friend, Chloe, about it. She looked at me with deep concern, gently suggesting that maybe my grief was manifesting in a new way, that I should consider talking to a therapist. I knew she was trying to help, but she didn't understand. She couldn't. This was real. Desperate for answers, I finally did what I had been avoiding for 3 years. He went to Liam's room and opened the drawer. My hands shook as I took out his old phone. The screen was black, coated in a thin layer of dust. With a surge of adrenaline, I found an old charger and plugged it in. For a few agonizing moments, nothing happened. Then, the screen flickered to life. My breath caught in my throat as the familiar home screen appeared. His background was a goofy selfie of us at the beach from the summer before he died. Tears streamed down my face. I navigated to his call log. My heart hammered against my chest. There were no outgoing calls. None. The last call ever made from that phone was to me, on the day of his accident. I was about to give up, to accept that I was truly going insane, when I noticed something odd. An app I didn't recognize. It was called Echo. The icon was a simple sound wave. I had never seen it before. My curiosity overriding my fear, I tapped on it. The app opened to a simple interface. There's a record button and a playback log. And in the log, there were dozens of entries, each one time-stamped. 10:00 p.m. Every single night since the call started. My blood ran cold. I clicked on the most recent entry. A recording started. It was the same static I heard on the phone. And then I heard it. A voice, clear as day, but not Liam's. It was my voice, Anna, it said. It was a recording of me from the night before, when I had said my own name while on the call. The app was recording my side of the conversation and playing it back to me through the static. But how? How was it calling me? And who set this up? I scrolled through the app settings, my hands slick with sweat. In a hidden developer menu, I found it. A simple script. It was programmed to activate the phone's microphone at 10 p.m. Call my number, record for 1 minute, and then play back a snippet from the previous night's recording. My mind relayed this wasn't a ghost. This was a program, a complex, cruel, and deliberate prank. But who would do this? And how? Liam's phone hadn't been touched in 3 years. Then, my eyes fell on the date. The app was installed. It was the day before Liam's accident. He must have installed it, but why? I dug deeper into the app's files, looking for any kind of note or clue, and then I found it. A text file named for Anna. My heart stopped. Primera, open the Italiano. It was a message from Liam. Anna, it began. If you're reading this, it means I'm gone. And I'm so sorry. I know this is a weird, maybe even cruel. Why to do these? I made this app. I don't know why. I had this stupid, morbid thought one day. What would happen if I died? You're my rock, sis. I was worried you'd fall apart. So primera ma de this. A little lecho. A way for you to hear a voice when you felt alone. It's programmed to call you, to let you hear yourself, to remind you that you're still there, still living. It was a stupid idea, I know. Probably creepy. But I couldn't stand the thought of you being alone in the silence. Please, don't be sad. Live your life. Live it for both of us. I love you more than words can say always. Liam. I sat on the floor of his dusty room, his phone in my hand, and I wept. But these weren't tears of fear or confusion anymore. They were tears of love, of grief, and of a profound, heartbreaking understanding. It wasn't a ghost, it was Untouched. A final, complicated, beautiful, and deeply flawed message from my brother. A message that crossed the boundary of death, not through supernatural means, but through code. That night, at 10 o'clock, my phone rang. Liam's name on the screen. I answered it. I didn't say anything. I just listened to the static, to the echo of my own breath. And in the silence I whispered, I love you too, Liam. I'm okay. Then I ended the call. I went to his phone, deleted the app, and powered it down for the last time. It was time to let the silence be silence. It was time to live. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever experienced a loss that's hard to explain, know that you're not alone. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.